Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Solpaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Solpaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Solpaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Solpaya, Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda.
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gauranga Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gauranga Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Naminehi Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate So today, we'll continue our study program centered around the 9 process of devotional service. So one of the process is the hearing and the chanting of the glories of God. So in this age of quarrel and confusion, the age of iron, Kali Yuga, the prime benediction for humanity at large, the prime sacrifice is the Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, centered around the chanting of the Mahamantra and the transcendental holy names and pastimes of the Supreme Person. It is also connected with the guidance, the connection wherein Lord Krishna, the Supreme Person, connects us with His confidential loving servant, who is the personification of God's compassion and love. So, to know more about Him, we will read the pastimes of Lord Krishna and also the prayer of Lord Chaitanya, so we can be guided properly and correctly, so we can be very focused in our quest or endeavor to achieve the goal of life, which is service to the Supreme Person. So yesterday, the discussion was about the circus. So this world, as we had discussed yesterday, is like a big circus. It comes, we're there, and then we try to enjoy the merrymaking in the circus. Okay? So you are given, all of you are given a certain time in your body, and this world is like a circus wherein the influence of the modes of material nature enhance our focus upon this material world, wherein you're not able to see the reality that's all illusion, just like in the circus. So you try to use your valuable time that is given to you, this human form of life, wherein you try to focus yourself to go to the circus. So there's this story that, one person, he wants to bring his family to the circus. And that circus is, they call it, what's the biggest circus in America? Or the land of the milk and honey, where everybody's trying to focus. Ano yung tawag nila doon? It's sort of like a Disneyland, the circus. So this father who has this family wanted to give pleasure to his siblings, to the wife, to get away from this moving world, this time. And they know, wow, they work so hard and raise certain amount of money so they can travel and go to Disneyland, to that circus world. Okay? So they work and work and work, and then now there's time to go there. So after this quest for happiness, the quest means the desire, the endeavor to experience, the sensation, the exhilaration, the anticipation that, yes, we will be happy together and enjoy the circus. Okay? Disneyland. Okay? It's like here in the Philippines, kasala, it's small time. Okay? It's milyonaryong mini na circus. Okay? So what happened to all the living entities who comes here? It's like they want to go to the circus. So they endeavor, they waste their valuable time. Okay? That's what we discussed yesterday. And then when you arrive at the venue, the circus, this field of activity, this body, and the avenue for enjoyment of this field of activity, the senses, the mind, and everything, guided by illusion, the influence of the modes of material nature, you think you're enjoying. But because you have a limited time in this body, it's closing time. Okay? It's closing time. Now it's crying time. Okay? So that's what happened to everybody here in this material world. So I'll read here the pastimes of Lord Krsna, wherein we can identify with someone who is in the circus, who tries to imitate God, who wants to be the clown. Kasi there's, all of us here, sometimes when we come to this world, we're like clowns, You know the clown? Payaso ba? It's their work, That my work, if I'm a clown, then I have this company wherein I advertise. If you have these birthday parties, programs, invite us and we will give you more pleasure. The clowns, let the clowns come in. Okay? So that's you have this job. You go there as a clown. Okay? There's this birthday party for the kids. But you have this facade. Alam yung facade? The clown, di ba? Hindi may nakangiti siya parate. But deep within you, your life, your real life, you're not really happy. Okay, Mami? You're not really happy, but you're there trying to portray, make everybody happy, the kids. You try to hide them, you embarrass yourself and everybody laughs, That's what we're doing here in this material world. We're all clowns. But deep within the clown who tries to make people happy, to give individuals his service to make people happy. Because he's not God, he's not self-sufficient. It's just a temporary hyping. Okay. Kasi the birthday party, like when there's a birthday party, is just ours. So the clown brings lollipop and bring another clown there, and they clown with one another, and the kids, give the kids lollipop and everything, cotton candy, and they make everybody smile. Let the clowns come in and let us be merry and happy, and you're there. Okay? It's a birthday party. You should be very happy, but you need the clown. And the clown goes there with other clowns. And then what happened? Before coming to the venue, the living entity was given this field of activity, this body. His experience is not that really joyful, In their house, it's really miserable. He's fearful, He's struggling to survive. So he took this job to be the clown, to give happiness to others. So he goes there, the kids, Ronald, Donald, the clown, di ba? He gives you burger, okay? Everything gives you the clown, and everybody, the kids, and the center is the kid there, okay? The kid, it's my birthday. You have this, you have this crown, okay? King for the day, okay? One day king, one day center, and all the kids goes there. Let us enjoy, and invites all the neighbors. The kids are all there, It's a kid world of trying to enjoy, but it's very temporary. And after the clown goes home, he takes away his mask. Mask siya nakatawa, it's smiling ba? But he takes it off, it's really the lines and everything is miserable. And it's ironic, and he goes there to give people happiness. Okay? So the living entity who comes to this world plays that role. Clown. Okay. And the merrymaking in the circus is very temporary, because after the circus, the bell, tang tang, it's time to close the gate. All of you go home, okay? We have to clean the place. The circus is finished. You have to face the reality, okay? So I'll read you here about the deliverance of King Paundraka. Okay. You can understand what we discussed, okay? Yesterday, it's just a recap, okay? So you look at yourself. If you are a clown, okay? You want to be a clown, then you're gonna stay here, okay? You try to make people happy. You try to play Lord. You try to be surrogate mother, surrogate father. You see, the relationship in this world is based upon material consideration. It's not really love. Okay? The father who tries to play the clown, I'm the father. Okay? I own you. Okay? The child man, I can surrender to you, give me what I want. But because they're not self-sufficient, they're not God, then it turns ori, turns ori. Everybody's miserable. Especially when the father who tries to play God, the protector, is hit by it. A prime mover and laminated on the street. My protector, my father. Okay? Or your parents, okay? They're riding this car and then bumps with a prime mover and they're all dead. Okay? Or the kid, okay? Oh, my beautiful kid, he smiled, then he has cancer, Okay? He has leprosy. Wow, okay? So this world is really ori and an illusion for a person who tries to imitate God. So that is our problem. India niya? So all your goals will turn ori. Alam mo yung ori? it will not be a merrymaking. It will become bizarre and horrible. Okay? Kasi you'll be experiencing the pain, the suffering, and the death, and the separation from all those you think your loved ones, your sensual enjoyment. It will be cut off. And then you're so attached, your heart is dead. Okay? It's like, operation without anesthesia. You see yourself bleeding, empty-hearted. Okay? All you can do is cry. Okay? But your tears won't be the answer to the problem. So I'll tell you this science wherein this can be, a way to realize and understand, yes, I must be in harmony with my true nature and be free from this false lordship. The deliverance of Paundraka and the king of Kasi. The story of King Paundraka is very interesting because there have always been many rascals and fools who have considered themselves to be God. Marami mga living entity, they think they're God. Okay? God na mini, God na dagko, gamatoy, okay? But they think they're God, okay? Even in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, there was such a foolish person. His name was Paundraka, and he wanted to declare himself to be God. When Lord Balaram was absent in Vrindavan, this King Paundraka, the king of Krsna province, being foolish and arrogant. Yung pop up ba, parang popcorn, bok. Mayabang ba? Okay. While Lord Balaram was absent in Vrindavan, this King Paundraka, the king of Krsna province, being foolish and pop-up, sent a messenger to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and King Paundraka directly challenged Krishna through the messenger, who stated that Paundraka and not Krishna was Vasudeva or God. In the present day, there are many foolish followers of such rascals. Similarly, in his days, many foolish men accepted Paundraka as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he could not estimate his own position. Paundraka falsely thought himself to be the Lord Vasudeva, God, the Supreme Person. Thus the messenger declared to Krishna that, out of his causeless mercy, King Paundraka, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has descended on this earth just to deliver all distressed person. Okay? Padala siya ng message kay Krishna. Sabi niya, dahil sa naawa siya sa lahat ng living entity, He, the Supreme Person, have come to this world to deliver us from our suffering. Okay? Surrounded by many other foolish persons, this rascal Paundraka had actually concluded that he was God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This kind of conclusion is certainly childish. When children are playing, they sometimes create a king among themselves, and the child who is so selected thinks that he is the king. Similarly, many foolish persons, due to ignorance, select another fool as God, and then the rascal considers himself as God. And if God could be created by childish play or by the votes of men, under the false impression, thinking himself the Supreme Lord, Paundraka sent his messenger to Dwarka to challenge the position of Krishna. The messenger reached the royal assembly of Krishna in Dwarka and conveyed the message given by his master, Paundraka. The message contained the following statement. So, nagpadala siya ng message. Okay? Messenger siya. Padala siya ng tao. Okay? I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. There is no man who can compete with me. I have descended as King Paundraka, taking compassion of the distressed conditioned souls out of my unlimited, causeless mercy. You have falsely taken the position of Vasudev without authority, but you should not propagate this false idea. You must give up your position. O descendant of the Yadu dynasty, please give up the symbol of Vasudev which you have falsely assumed. And after giving up this position, come and surrender unto me. It out of your gross impudence. You do not care for my words, then I challenge you to fight. I am inviting you to a battle to which decision will be settled. So, gihanggat niya si Lord Krishna. Mag-duel ta. Okay? Para makita nato kinsag yun ang Ginoo. Kay pinadala niya yung message niya. When all the members of the royal assembly, including King Krsna, heard the message sent by Paundraka, they laughed very loudly for a considerable time. After enjoying the loud laughter of all the members, the assembly, Krishna replied to the messenger as follows. Hindi pa nga dumating yung clown, yung payaso, tawanan na yung mga, okay? Tawanan na yung mga kaibigan ni Lord Krishna, yung mga devotees. Di sila makahinto sa kakatawa. Okay? After enjoying the loud laughter of all the members of the assembly, Krishna replied to the messenger as follows. O messenger of Paundraka, you may carry my message to your master. He is a foolish rascal. I directly call him rascal, and I refuse to follow his instruction. I shall never give up the symbol of Vasudev, especially my deeds. I shall use these deeds to kill not only King Paundraka, but all his followers also. I shall destroy this Paundraka and his foolish associate, who merely constitute a society of cheaters and cheated. When this action is taken, foolish king, you have to conceal your face in disgrace. And when your head is severed from your body by my deeds, it will be surrounded by meat-eating birds like vultures, hawks, and eagles. At the time, instead of becoming my shelter as you have demanded, you will be subjected to the mercy of these low-born birds. At that time, your body will be thrown to the dogs, who will eat it with great pleasure. Okay? Sabi ni Lord Krishna, okay, punta ka rito kasi puputulin ko yung ulo mo ng Sudarshan Chakra. At pag naputol na yung ulo mo, yung katawan mo kakainin ng vultures sa mga hawk at mga bulati. Okay? Ng mga aso. Okay? The messenger carried the words of Lord Krishna to his master. Paundraka patiently heard all this insult. Without waiting longer, Lord Krishna immediately started out of his chariot to punish the rascal Paundraka because at the time, the king of Kurusa was living with his friend, the king of Kasi. Krishna surrounded the whole city of Kasi. So nakinig si Paundraka ba? Pero kumukulo na yung dugo niya. Okay. King Paundraka was a great warrior. As soon as he heard Krishna's attack, he came out of the city with two Asakhini division of soldiers. The king of Kasi also had a friend, King Paundraka, and he came out with three Aksauini division. Sabihin, paglabas niya, kasama niya yung army niya. Dami. Okay. When the two king came out before Lord Krishna to oppose him, Krishna saw Paundraka face to face. For the first time, Krishna saw Paundraka had decorated himself with the symbol of conch shell, this, lotus and cloud. Si Paundraka nag-makeup pa ng blue. Okay? May hawak siyang lotus flower. Naglagay pa siya ng kamay na para four-handed. May this, okay? Clown talaga ba? Okay? He's saying, I am God, Vasudev, Krishna, and I want you to come down because that position belongs to me. So look closely, all of us who come to this world, we're like Paundraka. We want to dominate material nature. We want to play surrogate father, mother, lover, okay? Kaya nga, you look around, no? Di ba? If you, for example, all of us were attached to this world, and then the influence of passion, you look around, and then you see somebody, I like to serve you, okay? What can I give you? I can give you love. I can give you protection. Right? That's the game we play here. We're like clowns, like King Paundraka. So the living entity who comes to this world, who is this world, is a completely different nature from the living entity, because this world is a world of illusion. All the things you see here are made out of atoms and molecules, and they're continually changing. It's an illusion. Like, have you seen this movie na in your dream, For example, you see this movie na you see someone whom you love, For example, like this. You love someone, okay? The person, your wife, okay? And she leaves the body, she dies. In your dream, you see her, okay? And that's what they project always in the movies, di ba? At the time you're leaving this world, your wife comes, your kids were all dead. Di ba? I'm entering the world, But put it in another way. You're dreaming, your wife or your husband died already. Okay, your wife na lang, okay? In your dream, you see her. And then she's coming to you and you run in your dream and then you embrace her. You wake up. But in your mind, you feel it's real, okay? Because of your focus, your meditation, through sense perception, seeing this material world, and Maya, okay, laminated you already. Okay? You're like the person, as what we have discussed, the movie Iron Man, you're inside, okay? This body is like a vehicle, okay? Transformer, okay? Understand? At least you can adapt with that, okay? You're eating your Volkswagen, okay? Or Porpiera. O kaya lang, dahil wala man tayong mga ganon, habal-habal na lang. Okay? Understand? Kirtandas? You must be very intelligent to make a decision, okay? Stop this. Stop clowning around, He carried the saringa bow, and on his chest was the insignia of Srivatsa. Nagpatato pa rin siya ng Srivatsa rito. Okay? His neck was decorated with a false kaustaba jewel, and he wore a flower garland in exact imitation of the Lord. Pag nakita mo siya, alam mo yung mga drama? Okay? Sa material world kasi, we are all clowns, but we think we're clowns. This world, we're all actors. But for us, it's real. Okay? Because of our focus and meditation, being guided by the puppet master, Maya. Okay? Through the senses. Okay? Then, he was dressed in yellow-colored silken garments, and the flag on his chariot carried the symbol of Garuda. Imitation talaga ba? Para bang, kumbaga dito sa Philippines, di ba, pag bumili ka ng something, masama na, cellphone, iPhone, made in China mo. Okay? Imitation ba? Okay? Fake ba? Intindihan niya? So, nandun si Paundraka is trying to portray himself as God, false God, and is envious of Krishna. He wants to take Krishna out of this picture, in this film, okay, and put himself as a number one. So, yun yung nangyari. So Krishna came to see him. Okay. On the whole, however, his dress and makeup were clearly imitation. Anyone could understand he was just like someone on stage playing the part of Vasudev in false dress. When Lord Shri Krishna saw Paundraka imitating his posture and dress, he could not check his laughter, and thus he laughed with great satisfaction. Okay? This guy is an idiot. No? Para bang humorous masyado na a person who's faking himself, yung conscious na, ito talaga, convince siya. Okay? Niloko niya yung sarili niya. The soldier on the side of Paundraka began to shower their weapons upon Krishna. The weapons including various kinds of tridents, clubs, poles, lances, swords, daggers, and arrows, came flying in waves, and Krishna counteracted them. Di ba, pag makita niyo yung army fighting, pag tumingin kayo, madilim na dahil yung arrows, alam yung pana, okay? Kasi sa dami nila, lahat pumapana, dumilim yung sky. So Krishna counteracted all of this, okay? The weapons, including various kinds of tridents, club, poles, lances, sword, and daggers, arrows, came flying in waves, and Krishna counteracted them. He smashed not only the weapons, but also the soldiers and assistants of Paundraka. Just during the dissolution of this universe, the fire of devastation burns everything to ashes. The elephants, chariot, horses, and infantry belonging to the opposite party were scattered by weapons of Krishna. The whole battlefield became scattered with the bodies of animals and chariots. There were fallen horses, elephants, men, asses, and camels. Although the devastated battlefield appeared like the dancing place of Lord Shiva at the time of dissolution of the world, the warriors who were on the side of Krishna were very much encouraged by seeing this, and they fought with great strength. So yung fire ba, millions of suns. Okay? Hindi nyo ma-conceive sa mind. Lahat sila patay, yung mga soldiers lahat. At this time, Lord Krishna told Paundraka, Paundraka, you requested me to give up the symbol of Lord Vishnu, specifically my dish. Now I shall give it up to you. Be careful. You falsely declare yourself to be Vasudev, You falsely declare yourself as Vasudev, imitating myself. Therefore, no one is a greater fool than you. From the statement of Krishna, it is clear that any rascal who advertised himself as God is the greatest fool in human society. Krishna continued, Now, Paundraka, I shall force you to give up the false representation. You wanted me to surrender unto you. Now this is your opportunity. We shall now fight. And if I am defeated and you become victorious, I shall certainly surrender unto you. In this way, after chastising Paundraka very severely, he smashed his chariot to pieces by shooting an arrow. With the help of his dish, he separated the head of Paundraka from his body, just as Indra shaves off the peak of mountains by striking them with his thunderbolt. Similarly, he also killed the king of Kasi with his arrows. Lord Krishna specifically arranged to throw the head of the king of Kasi into the city of Kasi itself, so that his relatives and family members could see it. This was done by Krishna, just as a hurricane carries a lotus petal here and there. Lord Krishna killed Paundraka and his friend Kasiraja on the battlefield, and then he returned to the city of Dwarka. So with this, okay, you want my position? I'll give you the this. Putol yung ulo ni Paundraka. Okay? Yung promise ni Krishna. Okay? So yun yung situation, no? So kaya ko diniscuss, so let's continue kasi it's late na. At this continue the story tomorrow, let's continue. So I like to discuss something here, ba? That's very important. When we come to this world, we are misdirected by the influence of the modes of passion, which is material nature, because we want to dominate material nature. But in the end, we become enslaved. So we become clowns here in this merrymaking material world. It's a mirage. So how can you see that it's a mirage? You must come to the point of realizing your true identity. Aham Brahmasmi, I'm not this body, I'm different energy from matter, and then you begin to see this material energy, this world, as what we have discussed yesterday. Is it clear sa inyo? Just the elephants. Okay? Is it not? They come and they show, look what I've got. No? Okay? That's what everybody is trying to do. And not only that, we want shelter. We want to experience protection. But the problem is that we are listening from other clowns.
So when everybody comes to this world, Maya tricks us. He pulls this thread that we cannot see. So for example, you want to dominate, play surrogate father, surrogate Krishna. Because there's only one supreme father, Krishna. There's only one supreme friend, Krishna. So if you want to have a friend, that friend should have these qualities, unconditional love for us. And He is none other than the Supreme Person, our eternal friend. So the game we play here are all temporary. Huh? Because it comes to an end. Our struggle is always full of anxiety, fear, and we have no foundation for security because the security we do have is this temporary moving body and we try to manipulate it and then we leave it after some time. It's like different dresses. No? Is it clear? Like ukay-ukay ba? Ukay-ukay. Luma na, palitan. Okay? Pero ukay-ukay pa rin. Okay? So yung point ko is that how to achieve this, we must be protected by Lord Krishna. So King Paundraka wanted to pose as God. Okay, he wants to take that position. But because he's not self-sufficient, he's not all-powerful, he has no inconceivable potency, he's not the most beautiful person. Okay? In reality, as spiritual, he's beautiful. Okay? He's sparkling. But because of false bodily identification, he has to fake himself as a clown. Okay? I'm Krishna. So look upon yourself if you're in this consciousness of trying to imitate Krishna. But in reality, everybody's trying to imitate Krishna. Okay? Love me, serve me. But the problem is that that relation is perverted because you're not God, you're not self-sufficient, you cannot really give protection and happiness to that person. So what will happen is when you are not in this consciousness of connection, in harmony with the Supreme Person, when the living entity is not experiencing this loving relationship, he has no compassion for others. Alam mo yung compassion? You engage in activities that is detrimental to yourself spiritually because it separates you from this relationship, amiable, loving relationship that is transcendental. You experience happiness with the pleasure of God. Not only that, because when you engage in activity of trying to dominate, okay, like for example, my family, what I have. So every relationship you do have with others is completely focused upon your domination. Okay? You're not really concerned upon that person spiritually. So the devotee is another world. Every activities that he engaged in 24/7, his whole lifetime is based upon his loving relationship with God. So when he sees you, he relates to you with compassion and love. He gives you Krishna, just like our Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. It's more on giving you and trying to direct your life, like the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya is Varapuri, who instructs him to take shelter of the holy names. And as an example, God himself proved to the whole world that the holy names is not different from God. Not different from the spiritual world. The sound Krishna, the spiritual master is there, Krishna is there. It's inseparable. It's the spiritual world. But to enter that world, we must receive it from God himself. And then we become purified from all this false lordship, this clowning, okay? Kaya nga, kung titignan mo yung clown, I was looking at this documentary. Yung clown, pag trabaho niya, nasa bahay siya, inom ng inom. Dahil nga, inom ng inom, problema. Pero, mag-ring, okay? There will be a birthday party for you mamaya. So, bring all your gear. So, unang dala niya yung maskara niya na nakangiti. Pero sa totoo, his heart is empty-hearted and he's trying to give happiness to everybody. It's also like that. You're the praying father, son, I want happiness, I will do your bidding. So serve and love me. Okay? But because you're not God, you're not able to satisfy your father. And the father also playing that Lord, and he relates to you as my property, and he cannot really protect. Okay? what if your shelter is your father and mother, for example, and then you come home, when you come home, your house is closed, okay? What happened? And then you go here, okay? There's this, okay? There's a cell phone there, or there's Google Map. You go to the cemetery, and you go there. Mama! Nakalagay na sa ano, okay? Tindihan niya? Pero para sa atin kasi we've been used to pain ba? Kalos na bata. Okay? Kati tayo ng katiba. Kasi si Maya laging hinihila ka. So, there's this person who, prior to coming to the association of the spiritual master, he always prays, Krishna, I hope someday that I'll just be engaged in your loving service to be protected. But because that person is sincere, is given that opportunity, Krishna protects him. So now while you're traveling this world, you should be coming to that point wherein you're experiencing this world of Lord Chaitanya, because the effect of chanting the holy names is that on one hand, if you chant the holy names coming from the guidance of the spiritual master, you'll experience this transcendental experience, completely different from your experience of trying to play Lord. Okay? So, ito yung consciousness ng devotee. When you chant the holy names, you take shelter of Lord Krishna because you experience humbleness in your heart and you chant and you begin to see your situation that you're helpless. You're drowning and then somebody's giving you a hand. Come. Okay? Kaya you take it. But the problem is because you are still contaminated with this consciousness of Lordship, you're just putting it aside. Alam mo putting it aside? That even disciples or students of Srila Prabhupada, of our spiritual master, who works and then enough of this working, I'm gonna serve Krishna. Okay? But after coming sometime, then they think that they become insecure again. I have to work and work, the struggle for existence, because they're thinking, if I don't have these amenities, how can I experience happiness? Okay? The devotee consciousness is completely not touched by this material consideration. Because what our Gurudev, what the spiritual master and Parampara is trying to give us is that we must go back home. And to go back home to Lord Krishna, we must become free from all this material consideration. That wherein our heart, our life is simply a focus of meditation, day out, day in, wherein we are in this prayerful mood to take shelter of Krishna. And that's the reason you chant Hare Krishna mantra. The meaning, the Hare Krishna mantra is a prayer also. Oh my Lord, please kindly engage me in your loving service. So when you chant, you meditate alone, you begin to experience different experience that is transcendental, a longing for your loving Lord. And you begin to appreciate the kindness, the love, the compassion that is given to you. Okay. So yun yung problem natin dito sa mundo. We are disconnected from the source of happiness. That's why in Kali Yuga, the prime benediction for humanity, for all living entity, is the chanting of the holy names, the Maha Mantra. And it is stated in the Puranas, and that the prime sacrifice is the holy names. It's God descending a sound, and it comes from the lips of someone who loves Him, the spiritual master. So you cannot separate our Gurudev, our spiritual master, from the holy names. Because the more you chant, the more you'll be able to experience this affection in your heart that someone really loves you eternally. And that is the spiritual master. He's not Caucasian, he's not the body, but rather you entered that world that is in through the instruction that is giving you. It's a connection of love that is completely a different world from your mind. Okay? Your mind is so much engrossed with so many material desire, kaya space out ka na. Alam mo yung na-amnesia na? Alam mo yung tao na biglang nahulugan ka ng pader sa ulo, nahulugan ka, boom! Okay? Nakalimutan mo na kung sino ka. Who am I? Okay? Alam niyo yung story na yan? Who am I? Di ba may mga palabas na ganon? Di ba si Jackie Chan? Who am I? Di ba? Ganon din kayo lahat. Who am I? Okay? Am I? Okay? This. So, try to focus ba? To be, use our intelligence ba? Okay? Kaya makita nyo, lahat pala ng plano nyo sa buhay, lahat ng nasa mind nyo, hindi totoo. Temporary lang. Kaya na-attach ka man. Kasi naging Lord ka man. Consciousness. Parang si King Paundra ka ba? You want to be loved. To give love. Kaya, okay? You want to forgive yourself. Okay? How can you forgive yourself? You're not God. Okay? Kaya nangyari, space out ka, parang naka-amnesia ka ba? Kaya ang tagal. Sino ako? Di ba may mga palabas ang who am I? Okay? Punta ka, research ka, who am I? Sinasabi ng spiritual master, you are eternally the loving child of Krishna. You don't belong to this world. This world is a miserable world. Everybody, they're all clowning around, okay? It's like a facade. Alam niyo yung kanta? Masquerade. Ano yung kanta ng Masquerade? Di ba ang tono nun? Are you really happy in this lonely world we play? Tapos lahat nagsasayawan, may mukha ni Diana, maskara, may suot Batman, may suot cowboy. Okay? Lahat nagsasaya. Okay? Ganon yung mundo natin dito. It's based upon false bodily identification. I'm Filipino. Okay? I'm American. Russian. Okay? Ilunggo. Okay? Bisaya. Bulanon. Okay? You laugh, pero yun yung reality. Kaya mag-isip ka ba, okay? Sandali lang ba yung circus? Okay? Lahat nag-enjoy. Wow! Nandun yung mga clowns. Saya-saya. Then, oops! Kukrukuk! Malabas na yung araw. Enough of the game. You have to leave this world. This world of dominion and go again into another circus. Okay? Gusto nyo parating circus? Circus. Okay? So, become free from this amnesia. Become aware of your true identity. I'm not this body. I'm not the mind. I'm not the desire. And I can never find happiness in trying to enjoy this world with my senses and try to manipulate others. I must experience this love for the Supreme Person that is inseparable from me, and I can feel happiness in helping others. Kaya lahat ng ginagawa ng mga person who are trying to dominate, have their own world, it's all connected with their enjoyment. Kaya ikaw, isa ka lang part ng mundo nila to enjoy. They don't care about you. Lahat ng ginagawa nila, hawak sila ni Maya, okay? They are all agents of Maya. So lahat tayo rito, who are clowns, are all dominated by Maya. Okay? Is it clear? So nakita niyo yung situation? Okay? So, that is the reason we have this study program. So you become aware. Okay? The circus will finally stop. But there will be another circus. Okay? Traveling in this world with another body, another circus. Okay? Enough of the circus. Haribol Namaste.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate
Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Nayanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya. Haribol.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana.
Bhakti Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Bhaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana. Haribol.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Krishna,
Gopala Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Siddhaswarupaya Radha Krishna Prastaya Te